Right, so hopefully you can hear me. We're just on the holding point to the right. Well, not on the holding point, actually. We're on the turnaround point for runway 08 at Innsbruck. The wind is quite heavy. We're flying Navy today, as you can see from the tailplane there. We're in the Irish Simulations Grob Tutor T1, a lovely little aircraft. We've done the full checklist up till now, just lined up on the runway really. So we're just going to spin it around full length for runway 08 just in case of engine outs at low altitude. It means we can spin around without hitting the city, or at least glide past the city. So here's the takeoff checklist: throttle to full, temperature pressure to green, T's and P's, nose wheel steering and rudder directional control, rotate at 60 to 70. So we'll do that, and we'll just get rid of the after takeoff checklist there. So there's the runway lined up now. Advance the lead to full power. There's full power. RPM's going slightly in the red, which is okay for takeoff. Airspeed's building. Takeoff trim is set. It's 60 knots, so we can rotate now. Hold 60 to 70 knots for the initial climb out. I'm going to just get rid of a bit of right rudder there. Hold about 65 now. Just try and trim it for 65 or so. So yeah, we're at 2,200 feet now, so we're at 2,400, that'll be minimum safe. There's 2-4, so at this point we could potentially turn around if we needed to. So we'll start accelerating to the VY of 80 knots. Before we do that though, let's say 3,000 feet safe for the city, so I'm just going to keep the climb rate going for now. Bit of right rudder actually. knots. Getting some blusters from the city now. Okay, very typical. So we're now above 3,000 feet, so I'm going to bring the flaps in and start to accelerate now. Fuel pump can go off. Let's get the after takeoff checklist. No, we've done that after takeoff. There we go, accelerating to climb speed, flaps up. Fuel pump, there we take it off a bit early, throttle as required, very nice. So there we go.
Innsbruck traffic, Scandinavian 232 on the RNAV Zulu runway 8 approach.
Innsbruck traffic, Golf, Bravo Yankee Foxtrot, turning right, crosswind, runway 08, aiming for VFR Point Sierra to leave. So now we're going to turn right.
Innsbruck traffic, Scandinavian
7244,
taxiing runway 08.
People actually start talking once other people start talking, you know. Don't be shy on the radio, just go for it. I'm going to turn right now, probably go a bit faster than that. We're going to have a look at the BPM placard, because at 4,000 feet we need to have 53, which we do, so that's fine. I'm going to point the plane now directly at that point there. So we've got 170, I think, 180 brake horsepower in this. It's a Lycoming engine. It's got a good bit of whack to it. You can see that there. Got the strobes going off. Victor Foxtrot Navy plane there. I've also flown X-Ray Kilo. I think the call sign we used was Britannia 216, which is an odd one because it's actually just a defunct airline call sign, so I guess the military were using that as a joke almost. So waypoint Sierra is just over the bridge there on the right. I'm going to fly towards Brenner and then follow the valley around and tune into Padova radar once we get over the border into Italy. Padova radar is online, so he might be able to provide a flight information service, although he won't be able to give us any radar coverage below around flight level 120. It's a bit of a shadow, basically. Padova information is 12415, so I'm going to tune that on my nav too, so 124, decimal 15.
Innsbruck traffic, Scandinavian 7244 to Scandinavian on approach. Do you have an estimated landing time?
Approximately 6 minutes.
Roger, I'm lining up in 1 minute and taking off.
Roger that, thanks.
So going up to 8,500 for our cruising level today, so I'm just going to keep 70 knots for that climb really. It's going to be a slow one, but that's how it is. Just curious to see how long this takes. So just looking underneath those there, see that little bend in the road? That is the waypoint Sierra more or less. So we're on course. Wonder if we've got rudder trim. Rudder trim would be lovely around about now, but we don't have that, do we? Here we've got a constant left yawing and then turning effect, which is ever so slightly annoying at full power in the grob. So I'm constantly just a little bit of right rudder should help that. There we go. A little bit of right rudder balanced off with left aileron. And you see, if I just leave it to its own devices, you can see the rudder drifting off there. So still going nicely. We've got 70 knots, just climbing slowly up to 7,000, 8,500 feet. Innsbruck traffic, Golf Victor Foxtrot overhead Sierra 6,500 feet, leaving the controlled airspace. And they're all thinking, what the heck is he talking about? We're all IFR. But we're in our clean config now. Look at those engines. It's a pretty big beefy unit. It's got two.
Scanner 7244 taking off.
Start to slowly just pitch down slightly. Yeah, manifold pressure wise, we're at full power at 7,000 feet, which would give us around 51 to 53, which is bang on there. You really can't just leave this thing alone and let it fly. It really wants to go left. And I say no. Arrêtez-vous, s'il vous plaît. No baggage during aerobatics and spin manoeuvres. Oh, we should do some spins actually. See if we can do a power on spin. So if I increase the, well, actually no, there's no way. I'm doing a Hazel check quickly and there's not quite enough height. Initial climb is throttle full. Yeah, check, check, check. En route climb, we're kind of doing that. Kind of struggling to get up to 90. So let's just level off for a second, accelerate up to 80 and then climb again. We've got 91 knots ground speed, which suggests that we've got a bit of a tailwind. Nothing else to tell us what's going on with it. There we go, just cruising up. So here we've got the little city of Martrai and Brenna. City, it's a village really. There's a city, Innsbruck. Just trying to keep our 80 knots and we're struggling, to be honest. I think we shouldn't be struggling this much. Let's go to 8,000 and level off. We can dodge the valleys another way. So I'm going to level off, pick up the speed to about 120 knots. Looking on the right hand side there, we've got the where's that? Berger Alm ski area. Further up is the Schnitztal, we've got the Tribulaun at the back there, and Habicht, the biggest mountain on the right, you can just about see the point there. And then the Tribulaun there, we've got the Zuckerhüttel and a few others in the back as well. I wonder if this has actually included any of my ski... Oh, there we go, we've got ski lifts there. Lovely. We're going to level off there. So we're going to kind of aim for this nook here. This is the Sattelberg Alm, this little grass strip, and then head around to the right towards Sterzing-Vipiteno, and then we're going to go left and follow basically the motorway. We've always got, well, we don't really always have an emergency landing. It's not really the best solution, but you know. There you go, the speed's picking up now that we're in level flight. 126 knots.
The traffic, Lufthansa 1603, we are starting in the Scandinavian. Away from behind us, and the expecting 08 for the moment.
So LIPB is currently heading 190, 36 miles away, so that's going to be at this speed around about 20 minutes. We should keep the speed up really. Let's tune Padova. See if we're actually receiving anything. Let's just also check that this is indeed Padova. 12745 they've got here. So there's the top of the Sattelberg. We've got a building at the top there, it's an old army barracks. And we're currently kind of crossing into Italy actually, so time to call Padova if he's there.
Milano Control, Euro Charter 775.
It's Padova.
Climbing to flight level 290.
Oh, it's Milano.
Euro Charter 775, Milano, ciao. Are you able to copy reroute?
Able to copy reroute, go ahead.
Currently not looking at the plane. So where are we? Coming in there, added flight plan from VATSIM.
775 after Evano, Enoba, then Bordi.
Milano, Alpine 71, Mike Zulu, passing 2000.
Oh, he's going to have to
Euro
choose
Charter
June plan.
775,
He's doing
copy
top
after
down
Ivano,
for
Enoba, Bordi.
Padova. Let's just check
Fine,
his frequency.
71 Mike Zulu, Milano, ciao. Identified passing
LIM,
3000
LIP.
feet, climb level 100.
It's LIPB, so that is us. So it's Milan and Padova. Milano radar, Golf Bravo, Yankee Victor Foxtrot.
Golf Bravo, Yankee Victor Foxtrot, Milano, standby.
Okay, stand by. He knows we're somewhere here.
Golf Bravo, contact tower 128.350.
128.350,
28.350, we were established on the localizer.
Spine 71 Mike Zulu, climb level 100.
Climbing 100, Alpine 71 Mike Zulu.
Milano, Libic 575, ready for taxi.
Epic 575, taxi holding point Delta via Tango Golf, Tango, report ready for departure.
Tango Golf, Tango, Delta, holding point runway 13, will report ready for departure, Libic 575.
Golf Bravo Yankee Victor Foxtrot, Milano, go ahead.
Golf Bravo Yankee Victor Foxtrot, regroup 115 Echo, just south of Brenner, 8,000 feet, request a flight information service and the airport information at Bolzano. Silence.
Milano Radar, buonasera, è Prono 20, check radio.
Prono 204 su 5, vi richiamo, break. Golf Bravo Yankee Victor Foxtrot, running news in Bolzano 01, wind 350 degrees 4 knots, QNH 1018.
Runway 01 in use at Bolzano, QNH 1018, Golf Bravo Yankee Victor Foxtrot, thank you. Very nice. No squawk, he won't have radar contact with me if he's only realistic, as there is no line of sight. We could go over the top here if we climb up, so let's climb up maybe to 10,000 feet. See if we can actually do that.
Fine, 71 Mike Zulu, continue climb level 280.
Yeah, let's go over the top.
280, Alpine 71 Mike Zulu.
Ceiling is about 10, to be honest with this. But we'll try and get there. You can see we've actually not got any information for above there. 46, so we're running currently 8,000 feet, we're at 48, that's correct. So the power is a bit low, as you can see there's some struggles to climb above here. So the Aquila actually has a nicer performance in the higher altitudes, even though it's half power. Just underneath the right aileron there, or actually the right flap, you can see a little grass strip. That is a nice glider field. Good alternate if we have any problems right now. Well, I think we're going to be VFR clear of this, so we're just going to head roughly south. LIB PB is 194 degrees. There you go, hitting some mountains, so it gets a bit bumpy. So 194 roughly. Set heading bug really. It's 190, a little bit more. So
Milano Control, are you Euro Charter 775?
We don't want to lose any altitude, but we can't really gain much either. So
Milano Control, could we get help with a star for the new reroute?
775, board D7 Charlie, arrival for...
Board D7 Charlie, arrival, thanks to Eurostar 775.
Just check on the Google Maps if this is a real road or if it's just a nice picture. So we're getting some turbulence now coming in over the top of the mountains here, which is as expected. We've got 116 knots on the ground speed, so we've still got a bit of a tailwind component. It's actually so we've got 10 knots from ahead. The road below us is a full road. As you can see, there's plenty of traffic actually down there. Way too much traffic, I'd say. But if we follow this road, this will take us directly to Bolzano, so we've got that as an option. Although realistically, maybe not the best thing to do to go straight over the top, but why not? We're at 8,000, nearly 9,000 feet now, so take 9,000 and we'll probably be good all the way.
7 Romeo.
Board 7 Romeo, Euro Charter 775.
Fine, 71 Mike Zulu, proceed direct Abesi.
We're doing we're not even doing a proper climb.
Say again, 71 Mike 2.
Let's pull up a bit more, we can do a 90 knots en route climb.
Direct Abesi.
Then we basically have to drop off over the top. So kind of flying through the middle of the Italian Dolomites actually. There's the road there, still below the wind, so just going to keep that in sight more or less.
Abesi, Alfa Bravo, Echo Sierra India.
Downdraft there, still got the positive vertical though.
Abesi, Alpha Bravo, Echo Sierra India.
We're at 95 knots, so we're actually at our en route climb speed now. Just looking over to the right, probably a good idea to follow this road more or less. There we go, so we're going to head round to the right now, follow the road. And that'll bring us quite nicely into Bolzano. Let's try and stick to about 9,000 feet. When we get over Bolzano, I'll start doing some fun stuff, flat spins and such. Not flat spins, but maybe trying to pull off a spin recovery. 11 knots coming from straight ahead. It's not showing though. We've got 117 on the ground speed. We're expecting about 110 looking at the dial there. So just levelling off. Still at max power. As the airplane's struggling. If we had any less manifold pressure, we would have a small problem. Let's have a look at the manifold pressure. Expecting 2,700 RPM full throttle and above. There we go, 9,500. Full VFR separation from IFR traffic. Little guy's doing well. There we go, on the left hand side you can just about see the mountains of the Alpe d'Huez, but we're just sort of flying through this weird barren landscape of the sort of mid-Alps. At the back there you've got the Untitled Alpen.
Milano, Libby 575,
Innsbruck is way over there. You just about see the whole
runway 13, fully ready for departure.
9,350 feet. We don't have an information service, we're not in radar contact, but we've got the aircraft information. Runway in use is 01, which is the north-facing runway, otherwise it would be 35, I believe. No, it would be 19. So yeah, north-facing runway, probably left traffic pattern. Yeah, it is a left traffic pattern at Bolzano. Due to terrain on the right-hand side of the airport. So left-hand side of the airport's got terrain, so we do left traffic, which is left-hand on the right-hand side. The roads are going off the road. Coming through Serantino.
Reserve 9090, cleared ILS approach, runway 35 right.
Cleared ILS approach, runway 35 right.
Let's try and position ourselves really. So the road's just gone down there. Once we go left, there should be a lake somewhere underneath us.
Yankee Victor Foxtrot, do you have the weather for Bolzano?
I have the weather you just gave me. If there's any updates, please let me know. Golf Victor Foxtrot. Looking for a little lake.
Golf Bravo Yankee Victor Foxtrot, report ready to copy weather information.
Golf Victor Foxtrot, we're ready to copy.
Golf Victor Foxtrot, latest weather information in Bolzano, wind 350 degrees, 4 knots, variable 300 and 060. Visibility more than 10 kilometers, minus rain, scattered 5,000 feet, broken 9,000. Temperature 16, dew point 11, QNH 1018.
Copy the weather information to QNH 1018, Golf Victor Foxtrot. That's all we need to read back. The QNH is the only necessary read back. Everything else is optional, but we've got it all written down, so that's good. So you've got 350 degrees, 4 knots, so definitely will be a north-facing landing. Variable between 300 and 060.
Victor Foxtrot, runway 19 is also available. Report field in sight.
Thank you, we'll report in the field in sight, Golf Victor Foxtrot. I just got a message from Florian R from Innsbruck. We got to report the field in sight, so just looking out the window now, I think it's going to be underneath there somewhere, so we need to maybe plan a bit of a descent, so I'm going to actually head right now. Keeping 195. Bolzano is currently at 185, so head off to the right. We're going to pick up the field log before we descend it.
575, recycle squawk 5414.
Introduce us to 1,000 for the descent.
54, oh sorry, say again please.
5414.
5414 coming, level 575.
Wizard 9090, contact tower 128.350.
Tower 128.350, Wizard 9090.
Actually going to descend into the valley here. Still keeping 1000 manifold pressure, 10 inches of mercury. The reason we do that is to stop the engine from freezing during the descent. These are only air cooled, and the area is actually pretty cold up here. So we're not using a bit of power, we kind of need that to keep the engine warm enough. Yeah, we've got 1000 feet per minute descent rate. We're coming through the valley now, so could even do a loop just to get us right down to pattern altitude. So, actually, I'm not going to do a loop, I'm going to do a spin. It's a good way to lose altitude, isn't it? So, yeah, looks like plenty. We're not overhead any obvious civilization right now. So, if I just reduce the vertical speed and pull up to keep it level. Keeping it level now, dropping the airspeed down. I'm going to start needing some right rudder at some point, so we're just going below 70 knots. Rotation speed is 60, we're going to keep some power on and just hold the attitude.
That's level 330, level 575.
So there's a power on spin. See, we're starting to climb now, that's the only way we're going to get the attitude done. So just slight adjustment there, a bit of right boot. So, this is the fun part. We're going to start dropping below the stall speed, but we're not going to stall. Still maintaining altitude, we've got power on, right boot coming in. Should start to stall very shortly. Okay, come on, stall warning. Still pulling back on the stick. Got a fair amount of right rudder in now. Try and break it. Come and break off that turbulent airflow. Still got power on. A little bit of right yaw. Why won't you spin? There's the stall. Because we've got the right rudder, we're fine. If I release that right rudder, I don't need any right rudder. This thing just doesn't want to go anywhere. Bit more power. That is not realistic. Please. The spin entry in a grob is actually a bit different. We have to pull back and rotate. What is happening to the weather? There we go. Spin exit. Straight and level. Recover the dive. Oh look, there's a Losher. Oh, I might make a landing there. Slightly nearly hit the overspeed there. Oh, goodness gracious, what have you... Flipping. Stop weather, start weather, start synthesis, there we go. So the grob doesn't spin the way I'd want it to. Let me have a look at see that. Anyway, it's fine. We're entering IFR territory, which is not good. But we can see the valley there. Keep around 1000. That's Losher, just in the middle it's just north of Bolzano. Can I maybe ask my flight instructor to go there? That could be funny. Hey, let's go make an extreme landing at a mad field with grass only. Flying into cloud now, so dodge. IFR. We need then a VOR DME. We've got 11705 Bolzano, so 11705. Let's keep ourselves navving on that nav. Switch it around. We want the 2 radial. Let's be roughly that way, so we can just turn a bit to the right. And we want to kind of maintain. Let's go 4,000 feet for now. We'll just kind of establish on that radial. It looks like a safe radial out. Yeah, that's probably the best radial to take. Slightly to the right means we're almost out of the terrain issue, so I'm actually going to set 19 inches of pressure there. That's going to bring us back up to level flight, more or less. And just roughly trying to follow the VOR.
Portugal 21 requesting IFR.
So Bolzano suddenly turned into IFR, which is always good. Always love it when that happens. The QNH is
Portugal 21 Milano, ciao.
We've got wind from the south.
Chioggia 6 Lima departure. Charlie
Just going to get over the fields there. We've got the city underneath us there.
Runway 04 right, initial climb flight level 100, Cook 5412.
So there's the city of Bolzano. The airport is actually just over there on the left.
Clear to destination via Charlie.
Bolzano Airport is at
6 Lima departure, runway
787 feet, so let's descend down to about 2,700 feet. The runway length is 1,293 meters. So no particularly crazy short field takeoff or landing required there. You could probably use a bit of instrument lights actually.
Medium contour right now 909
There's the field there, we've got that in sight.
Ryanair 9923 Milano, ciao, 5x5.
445 Ryanair 23 99923. Thank you.
Golf Bravo Yankee Victor Foxtrot, we've got Bolzano field in sight.
Golf Victor Foxtrot report intentions.
Golf Victor Foxtrot intentions landing full stop at Bolzano. Runway 01.
Golf Victor Foxtrot, roger, join left downwind runway 01.
Join left downwind runway 01, Golf Victor Foxtrot. Okay, there we go, left downwind.
Victor Foxtrot correction, report left downwind runway 01.
Golf Victor Foxtrot, we are left downwind runway 01 right now.
Golf Victor Foxtrot, report final at 01.
Report final, Golf Victor Foxtrot.
Good afternoon, Ryanair.
Just going to avoid this mountain here and
level
then
350 inbound Bangkok.
pick up the final approach a bit later.
Ryanair 9 Mike Charlie, Milano, ciao.
Okay, we're downwind with below 100 knots, so
Eclipse
flaps 1.
3 Echo arrival, expect ILS Zulu runway 28.
Eclipse 3 Echo arrival for the ILS Zulu approach, runway 28. Ryanair
Holding the
9
airspeed
Mike
nicely.
Charlie, thanks.
Fuel pump on for landing, I think. Probably a good idea. En route climb hazard, descent, so descent fuel pump is as required.
Flight level
For landing, RPM is high. Ooh, yes, that's true. Mixture to BPM.
Ryanair
Alternate air
7
is
Victor
required.
Victor Milano, ciao. Clear
Don't need
the
any
Eclipse
alternate air.
3 Echo arrival.
T's and P's
Expect
are
ILS
green.
Zulu runway
Flaps
28.
takeoff. Contents all
Clear
balanced.
for
They're
the
definitely not balanced.
Eclipse 3 Echo arrival
No, we got
and for the
no, we got
ILS
rough
Zulu
balance,
for
actually.
runway 28. Ryanair 7 Victor Victor.
Let's turn final now. Golf Victor Foxtrot, final runway 01 Bolzano.
Golf Victor Foxtrot, runway clear, the wind calm.
Thank you, Golf Victor Foxtrot. It's a bit too hectic on final there with the checklists, but no bother.
Good evening, Tutor
Well,
Lima.
a bit of
This
bother.
Tutor Lima Golf inbound Luma at flight level 340.
Swiss 22 Lima Golf, Milano, ciao, identity.
Milano Center, right now 993 request our first cars to 8 Holborn Airport for Traverse Departure.
Ryanair 9923 cleared via Barock 7 Charlie departure, runway 22 left, initial climb flight level 100, squawk 5423.
Hold it off, hold it. Oh, there's one. There's 2 and 3.
Roger, clear to
Break.
8 Holborn
I'm going to
Airport,
vacate onto the right in a
departure
second.
runway 22 left, Barrow 7 Charlie departure, and flight level 100 and flight level departure, squawk 5423, Ryanair 99923.
Ryanair 9923, read back correct. Euro Charter 775, you're leaving my airspace, Unicom 1228, ciao.
Unicom 1228, Euro Charter 775.
Atlantic 575, Unicom 1228, ciao.
Let's check out the landing rate.
Unicom 1.8, thanks for service. Ciao.
Minus 7 feet per minute. That is
Ryanair
madness.
9 Mike Charlie, when ready, descend level.
Now, we could fly to Los Cher for
1.
fun, but maybe not in this thing. Alright, so after landing checklist, stripes go to red.
When ready, descend 210,
Probably.
Ryanair
I
9
don't
Mike
know.
Charlie.
We didn't do a go around, we have to go straight to after landing. Landing light off. Transponder to standby.
Ready for push and start.
Check fuel pump
Portugal
off.
21.
Stripes to red. Shutdown checks, parking brake
Portugal
set.
1, push and start up.
Avionics off.
QNH 1019er.
Ignition.
Push and start approved. QNH 1019. Portugal
ignition needs to be
21.
off.
Thank you.
That's what that should say. Check ignition mixture to lean. External lights all off, so we can turn off the nav, height at heat, strobes, instruments are fine. Tick, generator switch off. Battery switch off. Aircraft shut down so we can leave it. Lovely. There you go, VFR, Innsbruck to Bolzano. What was that? 38 minutes? Not bad. Okay, so now I know roughly it's 38 minutes roughly to landing. So I can figure out how long is it going to take me to get there and back. So it's about, yeah, I'm going to need a 3-hour flight really. Oh, the wind's picking up outside it.